Hi, it's Chris Watkin back for the second of 3 videos from the Dataloft Inform Stable, where we're talking about how estate and letting agents in 2021 can get the landlords and vendors and the listings that they deserve. Today I'm joined by Rory from Dataloft and Iain White, estate agency guru. Now in this first video we were talking to estate agents about what was happening in the property market. In this video we're going to talk about what home movers are looking for in their estate agents, and how the power of property data can attract vendors to them. And then in the third video, which is going to be after this, we're going to actually come back to the agents and ask them how property data has really got some great listings for them in 2020 and how they're going to really smash it in 2021. So first thing I'd like to go to Rory. Rory, you were very key in the home moving survey by the Property Academy, which interviewed 35,000 home movers in 2020. What are home movers looking for in their estate agents? And what did the survey say? Talk to me.
Well, it was great fun plowing through the data. We found some great insights. Biggest ever number of people that did the survey as well. So it really is an absolute treasure trove of information for agents to read through, learn from, and act on. From our perspective and from your perspective, Chris, and with what you do as a property analyst, what was fascinating was two key findings for us. One, that over 80% of home movers placed market knowledge in their top 5 reasons for choosing an agent. 81%, wow. Exactly. 45%. And when it came to landlords, 76% of landlords cited market knowledge as the most important attribute when appointing an agent. So, being able to share local market insights, local market data in your marketing as an agent, or being able to talk in an informed way using data with customers, it's worth its weight in gold, and it will gain trust. It will give you a better chance as an agent of being considered and being appointed. So the stats are quite incredible in that sense.
Right, Iain, as a property guru, what makes using local property data different to other marketing methods?
Well, I think there's marketing methods and then there's closing methods. From a marketing perspective, you are simply being able to show yourself as a local expert in a way that's different from everybody else. So look, typical estate agent behaviour, either through marketing or on the sofa when they're trying to win the business, is we, me. This is what I do. I'm the number one. I've sold more houses than anybody else. I've been established. I've got more offices. And generally speaking, I would imagine the client is yawning and absolutely bored. They're hearing the same thing over and over again. If you get a really good agent who understands how to connect with their audience, whether it be through marketing or on the sofa because the marketing's worked, and they talk about them, and the information they have of interest to them and how it affects their decisions and everything else, and really offers valuable content in either the marketing or the meeting. Just that very thing alone will put you in the top 1 or 2% of agents. You'll stand out from the crowd. Just the client will no longer see you as vanilla. They'll see you as elite. And of course you need to be empowered with the right solutions. The data from Dataloft and lots of other things, the videos that you teach people to do, I think are very powerful these days. I didn't have that in my day. And the data, I had to rely on my own internal department, and the data was slightly sketchy. Now I've got access to everything. So my advice is to estate agencies, don't just have the data, dare to be different with the data. Dare to put it out there in a way that is of value to the consumer, that isn't boasting about 75 houses sold in my town and we did 60 of them, because the client doesn't give a hoot.
No. I mean, Rory, have you got anything quickly to add to this before we move on to the next question?
Well, we sort of, I think what makes local property market data different to other marketing methods, the key thing is what you're doing and what you do, Chris, and what we do. We're actually sending people information that they want to receive.
Yeah, it's
and they're really interested. So what do you want to know about? How's my local property market doing? How's the price of my house doing? Are people moving at the moment? What's the kind of mood of the market? And the other thing is, so you're relevant. You're also, it's an excuse to get in touch with them and stay in touch as well. I remember Josh Vegan at the EA Masters last year. He had this dentist analogy where, you know, what do you do when you leave the dentist? The first thing that happens before they let you get out is they book your next appointment. So when estate agents, I'm not criticizing, not being an agent myself, but, you know, when they've sold someone's house or a transaction has been completed, what happens at that point? Do they book them in for an appointment? Do they get in touch a year later to say happy anniversary? Here's what's been happening in your market. Generally, no. And people are staying in their homes for a long, long time now. The average is about 18 years. So you need to keep that conversation going, and you need an excuse to do that. And the way to do that is to share with them something that people are always fascinated by, want to know about, which is what's going on in their market.
Isn't it interesting that only 1 in 8 people the agent they bought the house through actually go back to their original agent? And you might say, well, the average length is 18 years, but yeah, that's because someone's been there, a granny's been there for 40 years. It's going to skew the figures. There's plenty of people that move every 3 or 4 years. Okay, let's move on to the final question is Iain, how do people go about using local property data in their marketing? Let's start with you and then we'll finish off with Rory.
Well, I think some of the best uses I've seen would be to use the data to provide the content for your video. I think a lot of estate agents are frightened of the video space because they can't think of what to say. They're comfortable perhaps doing a walk around a house because the content is delivered for them, but they're not really confident about delivering some market updates. So I really like the fact that Dataloft and that type of information gives the agent the confidence to talk about the marketplace. And as we all know, these agents, once they get on with videos, it's like riding a bike. After about the 5th or 6th one, they're all the fear's gone. They suddenly get really energetic, and it's great. So I love the fact that Dataloft has enabled me to help my clients change their behaviors of pushing video away to suddenly embracing it and dealing with it. So I'm getting 2 wins now. I've got the data being put to my clients, and I've got my team energetically delivering it. But it really just comes down to evidencing expertise. If you can evidence your expertise through your marketing and just constantly keep putting out information of value that's of interest to landlords, sellers, buyers, tenants, if you keep pushing that information out there, you are winning the client before they're ready to transact. They don't know it, you can't see it, but it's happening. You're planting seed after seed after seed that will turn into the biggest crop that you could ever imagine. Whether it's an umbrella against a recession. It's absolutely an umbrella against a recession if you just do the hard work. I know it's easy to always be in the harvest and just cut the wheat. I know the hard bit is putting the seed in the ground, buying the seed, putting it in the ground, drilling the hole, watering it, nurturing it, checking it every day. But the reward you get for that long game is just so much more significant. You can charge higher fees. If you win the customer here and they don't transact for 17 months, 18 months later, which I believe is the sort of time gap between a person first entering a CRM and actually transacting. I don't mean moving, I mean signing a contract to list, to sell, or to let. There's lettings is shorter, but selling is about 17 months. Win it here through your expertise. So when you're here, you don't have to fight with all the other overvaluing and undercutting and price merchants and whatever else that goes on. And I'm seeing some agents doing it brilliantly, but I'm still seeing some agents that just aren't engaging with it. And I can almost give you a league table of agents that aren't using it and their market share going south, those that are using it and their market share going north. I bet you I could produce a complete correlation. I could probably get Dataloft to find me a correlation in data to prove that concept.
Okay, right. Well, we're coming to the end of our second video. And in the third video, we're going to be actually bringing back all those great, awesome estate agents who use Dataloft and the power of their property data to actually get them the listings, because they've been using Dataloft now for 12, 18, 24, 36 months. And we'll see you in the next video where we'll talk to them and you can actually find out how you're going to survive, not only survive, but thrive in 2021. Thanks very much. We'll see you in the next video.